I was in my first couple years of college, that time when you're broke all the time and trying to juggle classes with whatever side hustle you can find to pay for ramen and textbooks. I lived in this dingy dorm on the edge of campus in a mid-sized town. Not too big, not too small, but with enough people that food delivery gigs were steady. I started driving for DoorDash and Uber Eats because, honestly, I hated the idea of being an Uber driver for people. Small talk with strangers? No thanks. I'd rather drop off a bag of tacos and dip out without saying more than "have a good one." It was easy money, or at least that's what I told myself. I'd blast podcasts in my beat-up Honda Civic, cruise around at night when the roads were empty, and rack up tips without much hassle. Over a year in, I'd had maybe one or two weirdos complain about cold fries, but nothing that stuck with me. Looking back, I was way too casual about it all, driving alone in the dark, no real safety net. I know it sounds naive, but hey, I was 19. What did I know? It was a Wednesday night, sometime in the fall semester. Classes had been kicking my ass that week, midterms or something, and I didn't have anything early the next morning, so I figured I'd squeeze in a few extra deliveries to pad my wallet. I started around 10 p.m., knocking out 4 or 5 quick ones. A burger run to some frat house, Chinese takeout for a night owl studying, that kind of thing. By 1 a.m., I was wiped. My eyes were getting heavy, and I was about 20 minutes from the dorm, weaving through quiet suburban streets under those orange streetlights that make everything look like a bad dream. I told myself, one more if it's close, then bed. But nothing popped up, so I headed home with the app still running in the background, just in case. Force of habit. As I'm pulling into the dorm parking lot, tires crunching on the gravel, my phone dings with a new order. I glance at it, 12 miles away, but the payout? Insane. Like, double what I'd make on a big group order during dinner rush. I'd never seen a tip that fat before. The order details said it was just 2 items. Some cheap appetizers or whatever, totaling maybe $6. So yeah, that meant the customer was tipping like a baller for no reason. I sat there in my idling car, staring at the screen. Is this a glitch? I muttered to myself. Part of me wanted to decline it. Too far, too late. But the money? Man, it was tempting. Rent was due soon and I could use the boost. I hit accept, punched the restaurant into my GPS, and pulled out. Looking back, I should have trusted that gut feeling that something was off. But greed won out. Flawed, right? That's me. The drive to the restaurant was uneventful. A quick 5 minutes to this 24-hour fast food joint on the outskirts of town. I pulled up, showed the app to the board cashier, and grabbed the bag. Smelled like fries and regret. But whatever. As I hopped back in the car, I double-checked the delivery address. It was in an area I'd never been to before, out toward the ritzy side of town. You know those neighborhoods where every house looks like it belongs in a magazine? Gated communities, manicured lawns, the works. I figured that's why the tip was huge, rich folks being generous, maybe drunk or feeling charitable. I cranked up my music to shake off the tiredness and headed out. The roads got quieter as I left the main drags behind. Streetlights thinned out, and soon it was just my headlights cutting through the dark. A light fog had rolled in, typical for fall nights around here, and it made the world feel smaller, like everything beyond 20 feet was swallowed up. I passed a few gated entrances with those fancy wrought iron fences, security cameras blinking like eyes in the mist. My destination wasn't gated, though. The app led me down a winding street lined with massive homes, each one set back with long driveways and perfectly trimmed hedges. I rolled the windows down a bit for fresh air, but it just let in the chill, making me shiver. "Nice digs," I whispered, trying to lighten my mood. But honestly, being out there alone at that hour started to feel isolating. No cars, no people. Just the hum of my engine and the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. As I got closer, maybe 2 minutes out, my phone buzzed with a text through the app. It was the customer. "Make sure you deliver to the right address." Okay, fair enough. Sometimes GPS glitches and pins the neighbor's house. I pulled up to what the map said was the spot. A big colonial-style place with porch lights on, looking all warm and inviting. I texted back, "Hey, I'm here." Big white house with the black shutters and the red door. Waited a beat. Response? "No. That's it. Just no." I frowned. typed out a description of the neighbor's place. Blue siding? 2 cars in the drive? Another no. Annoyed now, I tried calling the number linked in the app. It rang, then declined. I tried again, same thing. What the hell? I said out loud, my voice echoing in the empty car. A prickle ran up my neck, like someone was watching. I shook it off. Probably just a picky customer or bad signal. But why not text directions? I still can't explain that part. Frustrated, I copied the address into Google Maps for a second opinion. That's when I noticed the number was weird. It had this subset thing like 1234-1/2 or whatever. I'd never seen that on a delivery before. Zooming in on the map, the pin wasn't on a house at all. It was smack between 2 properties pointing to... What? A blank spot? I zoomed closer. There was a tiny structure there, like a shed or detached garage, barely visible in the satellite view. My heart did a little flip. Okay, that's odd, I thought. I looked up from my phone, scanning between the 2 houses. Sure enough, tucked back in the shadows, half hidden by trees and fog, was this small building. It looked like one of those oversized storage garages for boats or RVs. Concrete walls, metal roof, no windows that I could see. Why would someone order food to a garage? Were they living in it? Squatting? I know it sounds crazy, but my mind jumped to all sorts of stories, homeless folks, weird hermits. But the tip? I was already there. Just drop it and go. I told myself. Flawed logic, yeah. Looking back, I should have canceled the order right then. I grabbed the bag, locked my car, force of habit, and started walking up the shared driveway. The gravel crunched under my sneakers, louder than it should have in the quiet night. The fog thickened, swirling around my ankles like it was alive. No lights on in the garage thing, just the faint glow from the neighboring houses spilling over. My phone flashlight helped, but it cast long shadows that danced weirdly. As I got closer, I saw it clearer. Weathered gray walls, a big roll-up door like for cars, but no regular entrance. Where do I even put this? I muttered. I set the bag down by the roll-up door, knelt to snap a photo for proof of delivery. That's when I heard it. A soft shuffle, like footsteps on leaves. My head snapped up. Around the corner of the garage, from the right side, a man stepped out. He was maybe in his 40s, tall and lanky, wearing a dark hoodie that hid most of his face in shadow. He just stood there, staring, not moving, not speaking. His eyes caught the light from my phone, cold, unblinking. A chill shot down my spine, the kind that makes your skin crawl. Delivery, I said, my voice higher than I wanted. I pointed at the bag. It's right here, sir. He didn't budge. Seconds ticked by, felt like minutes. Then, in a low, flat voice, he said, "That's not where I want it." I blinked. "Sorry." He pointed behind the garage into the pitch-black space between it and the tree line. "The door's back there." His tone was off. Too calm. Too insistent. Like he was stating a fact. But there was this undercurrent, almost eager. Everything in me screamed no. The fog back there was thicker, swallowing the backyard. No lights, no path I could see. Why not come grab it himself? Why lure me around? My mind raced. Is this a setup? Robbery? Worse? I know it sounds paranoid, but in that moment, with him just staring, it felt real. App policy. I gotta leave it at the door. I lied, backing up slowly, my heart pounding in my ears. He didn't argue, didn't chase, just turned and walked back behind the garage, leaving the bag untouched. I bolted to my car, fumbling with the keys, glancing over my shoulder. He was gone, vanished into the dark. I peeled out, tires spitting gravel, and didn't stop until I was back on the main road, fog blurring my rear view. The drive back to the dorm was a blur. My hands shook on the wheel, adrenaline pumping so hard I could taste it. Metallic, like blood. I kept checking my mirrors, half expecting headlights to appear behind me. What the fuck was that? I said to the empty car. Part of me wanted to laugh it off. Maybe he was just eccentric, living in a converted garage or something. Rich neighborhoods have weirdos too, right? But the way he stared, The insistence on going behind, it didn't sit right. When I finally parked at the dorm, I grabbed my phone to mark the delivery complete. That's when I saw them, missed calls. 3 from the same number, the customers. And app messages. Hey, where are you? That's not my house. You turned the wrong way or something? Delivery to wrong place? My stomach dropped. The man at the garage wasn't the customer. So who the hell was he? How did he know I was coming? Had he been watching? Hacking the app? I blocked the number, hands trembling, and sat there in the dark car, piecing it together. The weird address subset, the texts that didn't help, the declined calls, it all pointed to some kind of interception. Like someone spoofed the info to lure me there. But why? To rob me? Assault? Or something sicker? I still can't explain how he timed it so perfectly, appearing right as I set the bag down. Was he waiting in the shadows the whole time? I didn't call the police. Stupid, I know. Flawed decision-making at its finest. What would I say? A creepy guy wanted me to follow him behind a garage? No evidence, no harm done. I tried to shake it off, went inside, crashed on my bed. But sleep? Forget it. Every creak in the dorm made me jump. For days I replayed it. The fog, the stare, that flat voice. I questioned my sanity. Was I overreacting? Maybe he was harmless, and I bailed on a legit delivery. But deep down, I knew it wasn't right. The real customer probably got their food cold or complained, but I didn't care. Weeks later, I was back at it, deliveries because bills don't pay themselves. Late night again, app running. Another ping, big tip, same area. My blood went cold. I stared at the screen, heart racing. Declined it instantly, but I couldn't stop wondering. Who took that order? Did they go? What happened behind that garage? I avoid that neighborhood now, stick to daytime gigs when I can. But sometimes, in the quiet, I hear that shuffle in my head, see those eyes in the dark. Looking back, I should have trusted my instincts from the start. Whatever was waiting back there, I'm just glad I didn't find out. Or am I? The not knowing is the worst part. It lingers, you know? Makes you question every shadow, every ding on your phone. If you're out there delivering at night, be careful. Some tips aren't worth it. Back in my later years of high school, I had this gig as a pizza delivery driver at a little mom-and-pop shop in our small town. It wasn't glamorous or anything. Think greasy aprons, the constant smell of cheese and pepperoni clinging to your clothes. But it paid okay for a kid like me. I needed the cash for gas, video games, and sneaking out with friends. The place was tucked away on the edge of town, surrounded by those winding country roads that get pitch black after sunset. I'd always pick up the Friday and Saturday night shifts because school kept me busy during the week, and honestly, it was pretty chill. Most nights, I'd just cruise around blasting music, drop off pies to stoned college kids or tired families, and chat with my buddies who worked there too. We had this routine. Take orders, fold boxes, maybe sneak a slice when the manager wasn't looking. Looking back, I was way too trusting about the job. I mean, driving alone at night to strangers' houses? What could go wrong, right? Flawed thinking, I guess. But at 17, you feel invincible. That particular Friday started like any other. The shop closed at 1 a.m., so we'd stop taking orders around midnight to clean up and bounce. It was about 11:30 p.m., and I'd just gotten back from my last break. Smoked a quick cig out back, to unwind. My 2 friends were on shift with me. Jake was out on a delivery, and Mike had just clocked out for his break. I figured I'd get a jump on cleaning to kill time. Wiping down counters, sweeping up flour dust, the usual. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting that harsh glow that makes everything feel a bit off, like you're in a bad indie movie. Outside, the parking lot was empty except for my old beater car, a rusty Ford that rattled like it was about to fall apart. The night was cool, with a bit of that autumn chill seeping in through the cracks in the door. No rain or anything dramatic, just the kind of quiet darkness that swallows up the world beyond the shop's windows. Then the phone rang, sharp and insistent, cutting through the hum of the ovens. I picked it up. Standard greeting, "Tony's Pizza. How can I help you?" On the other end was this older guy, voice gravelly like he'd smoked a pack a day for decades. He asked if we were still open for deliveries. I said yeah, but no large orders since we were winding down. He was cool with that, just wanted a regular cheese pizza. Gave me the address without any fuss. Someplace about 10 minutes out, down one of those rural roads lined with trees. I jotted it down, hung up, and yelled back to the kitchen guy to fire one up. 15 minutes later, the pie was hot and boxed. I grabbed it, tossed it on the passenger seat, and headed out. The radio was playing some old rock tune, low volume, as I pulled onto the main road. Streetlights flickered by at first, but soon it was just my headlights piercing the dark. Trees loomed on either side, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out. I know it sounds dramatic, but nights like that always had this eerie vibe. Isolated, with no one around if something went south. Halfway there, maybe 5 minutes in, I came up behind this car at a stop sign. The road was dead empty, no other traffic, just us. It was an older sedan, dark color, hard to make out in the night. The guy just sat there, not moving. I waited a few seconds, figuring he was texting or zoned out. Then I gave a gentle honk, polite like. Nothing. Waited longer. Still nada. Annoyed, I started to edge around him on the right. Plenty of space on that wide shoulder. But right as I do, he guns it, jolting forward like a jackrabbit. Asshole? I muttered, shaking my head. Probably some jerk messing with me for kicks. I continued on, but that little incident stuck in my craw. Why sit there so long? Why the sudden takeoff? I tried to brush it off. People are weird, right? But a tiny knot formed in my gut. A couple minutes later, I passed that same car again. Pulled over on the shoulder this time, headlights off, engine probably running but silent in the dark. My headlights swept over it as I went by. Tinted windows, no one visible inside. That knot tightened. What the hell? I whispered. Felt wrong, like they were waiting or watching. I checked my rear view obsessively after that, half expecting tail lights to pop up behind me. The road twisted through more woods, the kind where the trees press in close, blocking out the moon. Fog started creeping in too, not thick, but enough to blur the edges of things. My mind raced. Was he following? Nah, probably coincidence. But I still can't explain why it unnerved me so much. Paranoia setting in early, I guess. Finally, I turned down the address's driveway. It was long and narrow, cutting through a dense forest of pines that rustled softly in the wind. No streetlights here, just my high beams bouncing off the gravel. The house at the end was an older ranch-style, porch light on, looking normal enough. I parked, grabbed the pizza, and walked up. Knocked twice. Waited. An old lady answered, maybe in her 70s, peering out with that cautious squint old folks get late at night. "Can I help you?" she asked. I smiled, recited the address, said I had her pizza. She looked confused, then sorry. "Oh, honey, no one here ordered anything." She even offered to pay for it out of pity, but I waved it off. Pranks happen sometimes, kids giving fake addresses for laughs or honest mistakes. I thanked her, headed back to the car. Plan was to reverse out, call the shop from the road, have them ring the number back to confirm. But as I started backing up, slow, careful on that skinny path, bright headlights blasted me from the end of the driveway. Right in my eyes, high beams like spotlights. I slammed on the brakes, blinded. What they? I shielded my face, waiting for them to dim or turn around. Nothing, just that glaring white light, turning the fog into a hazy wall. My heart picked up. Who drives up a private driveway like that? A neighbor? But why not honk or flash? I sat there, engine idling, for what felt like forever. Maybe a minute. Then, click, the lights went out completely. Darkness rushed back in, spots dancing in my vision. I blinked hard, waiting for my eyes to adjust. Peered ahead. No car visible. Okay, weird, I thought. Put it in drive, crept forward cautiously. The gravel crunched under my tires, each pop echoing in the silence. Wind whispered through the trees, branches scraping like whispers. A few seconds later, there it was. The car, parked dead center in the path, all lights off. Same one from before. I recognized the shape, the tint. My stomach dropped. How'd they get there without me seeing? Followed me the whole way. Lights out? Anxiety hit like a wave. I couldn't see inside, too dark, windows like black voids. What if there were people in there? Multiple guys waiting? I know it sounds crazy, but my mind went to dark places. Robbery, worse. The forest pressed in, isolating us. No houses nearby, no cell signal, probably spotty out here. I gripped the wheel, debating. Honk? Flash lights? Reverse? But the driveway was too narrow, trees on both sides, no room to turn. Then the driver's door opened. A man stepped out. Tall, shadowy figure in a jacket, face hidden in the gloom. He walked toward me, slow and deliberate. Stopped halfway, waved me forward like he wanted me to pull up next to him. My pulse thundered. This is bad, I thought. But what choice? I inched the car up, window cracked just a bit. He didn't say a word when I stopped. Didn't even look at me. Just walked around my car, casual as hell, and stopped at the trunk. Stood there. I watched in the rear view, confused and terrified. What was he doing? Checking my plates? Signaling? Time stretched, seconds felt like hours. The fog swirled around him, making him look almost ghostly. Then it hit me, distraction. I whipped my head forward, just in time to see the other 3 doors of his car burst open. 3 more men exploded out, sprinting straight at me. Dark clothes, faces obscured, but intent clear. I stomped the gas, tires spinning on gravel. Swerved off the path to avoid their car, nearly clipping a tree. Branches whipped the sides. One guy dove out of the way as I barreled past. The driveway blurred, fog parting like a curtain. I hit the main road, fishtailing, and floored it. Checked the mirror. Their headlights flicked on, pulling out after me. Oh God! Oh God! I gasped, weaving through the dark roads. No one else around, just empty blackness. They followed for maybe 30 seconds, gaining, then suddenly veered down a side road. Gone. I didn't slow down till I hit the shop's lot, skidding to a stop. Burst in, shaking, babbling to Jake and Mike. They thought I was pranking at first, but saw my face. Pale, sweaty. Call the cops, they said. I did, gave a statement to an officer who showed up. Described the car, the men, vague details in the dark. He took notes, left. We closed up, me still jittery. Next day, phone call from the police. 3 of the guys got nabbed. Tried the same shit on another delivery driver later that night, same driveway. Fake orders to lure us in, rob us in that isolated spot. The old lady called it in after more deliveries showed up. She had no clue they were using her place. Never seen them before. But the 4th man slipped into the woods, vanished. No updates after that. Was he caught? I don't know. Still can't explain how they picked that spot. Timed it so perfect. Human predators, yeah. But the way they melted into the dark. Almost unnatural. I switched to day shifts after that. Weekends only, bright and safe. Proud I reacted quick. Got out unharmed. But nights, I avoid driving alone. It was the beginning of fall. That time of year when the leaves start turning and the nights get this crisp chill that seeps into your bones. I was living in a small town. Nothing fancy, just your average Midwestern spot with a main street, some farms on the outskirts, and enough quiet to make you appreciate the hustle of a job. I worked as a cashier at this little convenience store near my apartment, the kind that sells lottery tickets, cheap coffee, and expired snacks. My shifts usually wrapped up around 9 p.m., and to make ends meet, I was in my early 20s, scraping by on student loans and dreams of something better. I'd hop on food delivery apps right after. DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever had orders popping. I actually liked the night gigs. Roads were empty, no traffic jams, and most drivers bailed early, so I'd snag more runs. Easy money, or so I thought. I'd cruise in my old Toyota, windows cracked for that fresh autumn air, listening to podcasts about true crime. Ironic, right? Looking back, I was way too casual about it all. Driving alone in the dark, to isolated spots? Flawed judgment, definitely. But hey, bills don't pay themselves. That evening started normal enough. I clocked out at the store, grabbed a quick energy drink from the cooler, employee discount, score, and fired up the app in the parking lot. The lot was dimly lit, just a couple sodium lamps buzzing overhead, casting long shadows from the few cars left. First order came in fast. Some burgers to an apartment complex downtown. Took me 15 minutes tops, drop and go, no issues. I waited a bit after, circling the block, hoping for another quick one. The app dinged again, good payout about 20 minutes out. Not bad. The address was in a small neighborhood off the highway, which I preferred over those creepy farmhouses way out in the sticks. Those always gave me the willies at night, too isolated, too quiet. I headed to the fast food joint, picked up the bag, smelled like greasy fries and regret, and punched the directions into my GPS. The town center faded behind me, streetlights giving way to darker roads. A light drizzle started, pattering on the windshield, turning the world outside into a blurry haze. Wipers squeaked rhythmically, almost hypnotic. As I got off the highway and turned left toward the neighborhood, my phone rang, unknown number. I glanced at it, figured spam, and declined. Kept driving, focusing on the road ahead, the rain picking up a bit, slickening the asphalt. But seconds later, it rang again. Same number. Persistent. I muttered, annoyed. I answered this time, hands-free, safety first. Hello. Silence for a beat. Then a man's voice, calm and even. You turned the wrong way. I blinked. What? He repeated it, no emotion, like he was reading a script. Said the app always glitches his address, happens every time with deliveries. He had to call drivers personally to guide them. Go back to the highway, take a right instead, then the third left. It's a gravel path to my farmhouse. I paused, processing. It wasn't unheard of. Rural spots out here had wonky GPS all the time. Unnamed roads, signal drops. I'd had customers call before for tweaks. Okay, got it, I said, trying to sound chill. Hung up, turned around. Looking back, I should have verified through the app first. Flawed trust, I guess. But he sounded so matter-of-fact. The drizzle turned to a steady rain as I backtracked, passing the highway exit again and turning right like he said. The road here was even darker. No lights, just my headlights reflecting off wet pavement. Trees lined the sides, their leaves heavy with water, dripping occasionally. I counted the lefts, 1, 2, 3. The gravel path was there, just like he described, narrow, rutted from rain, crunching under my tires as I turned on. Immediately, the forest closed in. Thick pines and oaks, branches interlocking overhead like a tunnel, blocking out what little moonlight there was. The rain muffled sounds outside, but inside the car, my breathing seemed loud. No houses in sight, just endless trees. This better be right, I whispered to myself. A minute passed, then 2. Still nothing. Doubt crept in. Why was the app so far off? Why call instead of texting? I tried to shake it. Overthinking, that's all. Nervous from the isolation. But the path got tighter, trees scraping the sides of the car now and then, like fingers tapping. No room to turn around if I wanted. Heart picking up, I gripped the wheel harder, rain smearing the windshield. Another minute or 2 dragged by, felt like 10. The gravel ended in a small circular driveway, looping beside a house. It was an older 2-story, siding faded, with a for sale sign staked in the muddy yard, reflecting my headlights. Wait, what? I thought. Looked empty, no lights on, curtains drawn. But then, from the front door, which was cracked open, I saw movement. Someone inside, further back, waved at me, arms silhouetted against faint interior light. Okay, maybe it was him. People sell houses all the time. Doesn't mean it's vacant. I parked, grabbed the bag, and stepped out. Rain hit my face, cold and insistent, soaking my hoodie. The air smelled of wet earth and pine, earthy, almost claustrophobic. I hurried up the path, mud squelching under my sneakers, to the porch. Set the bag down just inside the door threshold, app rules, no entering homes. But then the man called from down the hall. Hey, could you put it on the kitchen counter? I'm in a rush. Polite but hurried. I heard a sink turn on, water running. Hesitated, policy said no, but it was just a few steps, right? Flawed reasoning again. I stepped in, the floorboards creaking underfoot. The house smelled musty, like it hadn't been aired out in weeks. Old furniture, dust. Decor was dated. Floral wallpaper peeling at edges. A grandfather clock ticking softly in the corner. Felt staged and used. I quickened my pace down the hall, toward the kitchen light. Water still running, but as I turned the corner, empty. Sink on full blast, steam rising from hot water, but no one there. Chills exploded down my spine. Goosebumps, the works. Hello, I called, voice shaky. Set the bag on the counter fast, turned to bolt. As I hit the front door, I heard him yell something garbled, like, wait, or maybe, hey, from somewhere deeper in the house. Ignored it, jumped in the car, slammed the door. Tires spun in the mud as I reversed, heart hammering. The rain pounded harder now, wipers on max. I didn't stop till I hit my apartment lot, pulling in with shaking hands. Breathed deep, tried to calm. Just a weird guy, I told myself. But then my phone, multiple missed calls from that unknown number, and app messages from the customer. You're at the wrong house. Turned the wrong way? Where's my food? Shock hit like ice water. The man on the phone wasn't the customer. So who was he? How'd he know my route? Redirect me? The house. I called the police right then, voice trembling as I explained. An officer came over, nice guy, took notes in my cramped living room. Said they'd check it out. Next day, the update, house was vacant. Owners moved months ago, for sale empty. Man broke in via unlocked window. And my phone? Likely hacked, tracked my location live, spoofed the call. Intent? Probably lure me inside for, God knows. Kidnapping? Assault? I still can't explain how he waved from inside. Vanished like smoke. Human, sure, but the timing, the emptiness, almost otherworldly. No arrests, no leads. I quit night deliveries, stick to day jobs. But the dread sticks. Every ringtone jumps me. Every shadow in the rain looks like a figure. Looking back, I should have bailed at the first call. Question my sanity daily. Was it real? What if I'd gone further in? The not knowing haunts worst. If you're out delivering, trust your gut. Some paths aren't worth following.